Today we will start unit number one related with the construction management and law. Whether the PPT is visible and whether I am audible or not, please comment. Please comment whether it is audible, whether the PPT is visible. So today we will start construction management and law. So as we have already discussed uh, in construction management and law, the various units related with construction management and law. So from today onwards, as I have already said that in last lecture we have started the introduction regarding the construction management and law. So there were 6 units. It was totally a theoretical subject. So it is totally a theoretical subject in which it is having 6 different units. So while constructing the structures, while executing the structures, we have to keep in mind the various techniques regarding constructions. We have to deal with the various laws. Uh, we have to deal with the various uh, government bodies related with various documentary works to be done. We will see one by one unit number one. So from today we will start unit number one, that is for construction management and law. It is having in university exams, it is for 80 marks. There is no as such practicals for construction management and law. There is only a theoretical subject in construction management and law. So there will be 80 marks university exams plus 20 marks internals. Overall, it will be for 100 marks. So 100 marks will be total for construction management and law without practicals, without internal and external practicals. There will be 400 marks. Okay. So as we have discussed the various concerns regarding construction management and law, 6 different units. Each unit is having its own weightage. There are about 13 marks question is there for from each unit. It is divided in for 6 to 7 marks. So question number 1A for 6 marks, question number 1B for 7 marks. So total there will be 13 marks given for one unit, 13 to 14 marks. Overall there will be 80 marks for construction management and law. Okay. So from today onwards we will start construction management and law. So unit number one, again this unit number one deals with the basic studies in construction project. While executing a project, while constructing a project, we have to keep in mind the different concepts regarding the execution flow of project or regarding execution of the project. So these are the main headings in the unit number one. That is types of projects and its financing, detailed project reports, analysis and its feasibility, time of completions, provision of escalations in time and cost, and choice of technology and construction techniques, and site plan. So this is a little bit of broad view of unit number one. So we will see step by step, or we will see the different units one by one, the different things in unit number one by one. So today we will start. This is just a broad view of unit number one. So from today we will start unit number one. That is first bit as types of projects. Okay, we will start first bit as this bit as important as types of projects. So today we will start as types of projects and its financing. So this part is also important. So we will cover one by one all the bits related with unit number one. So types of projects and its financing. Okay. So construction management and law, as it is a theoretical subject, so little bit it requires understanding, and you have to write down the various points related with this. The more the points to be written in exams also, the more you will get the marks, because it is a theoretical subject. So you have to write down in detail all the various concepts related with every unit, whether it is unit number one or two or three. Okay. So because it is a theoretical subject, so we will see. The first is nothing but project. So what is a project? Introduction regarding a project. A project is a broad way, in a broad concept. A project can be defined as a long-term infrastructure. Okay? So it is not a short-term. Okay? A construction project, it is a long-term because it requires many heads are covered in a project, many things are covered in a project. So therefore, it is a long-term infrastructure project. The project is normally a long-term infrastructures or industrial or public services scheme. There may be a public services scheme which can be taken into consideration under projects. There are various schemes related with public which is covered in this project. So there may be an industrial buildings also. There may be infrastructures also. What is infrastructures? Infrastructures is nothing but construction related activities. Okay? Infrastructure word relates with a broad view of constructions. In infrastructures there may be a construction of roads also related with construction of building. In infrastructures there may be roads, there may be septic tanks, there may be supply of water lines, there may be supply of drainage lines, there may be gardenings, there may be parks, there may be hospitals. Okay? Gym, all this will be covered in this infrastructures. Okay? The project deals with the infrastructures, long term infrastructure. This infrastructures word relates with a connection of various, or it deals with various projects. Okay? So infrastructure word, it is having a broad view regarding this. Of money also size, it is in terms of area. So when it is large size area it is required, then it will be covered under a project. Okay? The project deals with things, construction activities related with large size, intensive capital requirements or capital intensives. Capital investments are required. Intensive is nothing but investments required, capital investments. Various there may be various investors who will invest their money in order to get a profit from this project. So capital investors are there, capital various investors are there. Finite and long life, because various terms it will require a long time, long life will be there for a project. Again, fourth point is nothing but a few diversifications and opportunities, assets specific. There will be a little diversifications. Divergence of opportunities will be very little, and more precise the concept will be there. Assets will be specific. Precise project will be there. The diversity of the project will not be there, but diversity of the opportunities will not be there, and there will be focusing towards a one project. This fourth point indicates focusing towards a specific project. Assess specific matlab their investors, they will invest in this project specifically. Okay? So specific term it is related with this project. Okay? So there will be few diversification opportunities, and it will be specific. Okay? And standalone entity is again the is nothing but the justice. Entity is nothing but the this project deals with the purity. Entity is nothing but as good as purity of the project. It is for purity of projects. This project deals with for purity. High operating margins are there. Significant free cash flows is there. In project there are free cash flows. Once the returns have been taken, that returns can be reinvested for some other constructions also. Okay? So there is flow of money. Okay? There is flow of money in projects. There is a flow of money. We can reuse the money for different parts. Okay? Once we have got the profit, that profit can be reinvested or reused for the construction of the project, construction of various activities in a project. So there is a free cash flow in this project. Okay? So all these points are covered in the project. Okay? So when there is a large size, when there is a cash flow, then when there is flow of money, when there are capital investors are there, long term investors are there, when the life is very long life projects are there, and when there is specific. Third fourth point is when the project is specific, at that time it is called as a project. Okay? If it is not specific, then we cannot invest the money, and it will not be included in this project. So it should be a specific. Okay? And it should be fair means. There should not be an unwanted means. Fair means should be there. Entity means in the sense fair means will be taken into considerations. and there is high operating margins are also, profits are also there, and cash flows are also there. Okay, so such is nothing but the project. Okay, so it is having different concepts regarding this project. Such projects are usually government regulated and monitored, which are allowed to an entity on BOO and BOT basis. What is BOO? That is built, own, and operate. Okay. So you have seen various highways are there. There we are collecting. There is a toll naka for this, which collects the money, and that money it is reused for maintenance work. Okay. So built, own, and operate. The best example is the various highways. Okay? Express highways are the best examples. Various highways are the best examples. The contractor builds the particular type of project. Whether he builds a highway, and for some years he under him it has been operated, and the taxes or the road taxes, it has been covered by that owner, and it has been given to the different parties. Okay, so build, own, and operate. Okay, build, own, and operate. Build, operate, and transfer is also one of the type of the project in which we have to build, and for some years. Suppose it is for lease, it is for 10 years, for 20 years, for 50 years. So it has been given. Okay, it has been given to the contractors to use that project for 50 years, and the profit which has been taken by that 50 years, some percentage will be given to the government, to the owner, and after that 50 years the whole property will be taken by the owner, by the government body. Okay, so but the profit for 50 years, some percentage will be taken by these contractors, and the some percentage will be taken by the government bodies. And after 550 years, the whole project and whole road or whole express highway will be taken by the government. Okay, so this type of projects are called by the build, operate, and transfer. So it has been built by the contractors, it has been operated by the contractors for 50 years, and after 50 years, after collections of money, it has been transferred to the government bodies for further use. Okay, so it is also called as, it is nothing but the built, operate, and transfer. So build, own, and operate, and build, operate, and transfer. This will be covered under the projects. Okay. So projects, it is a broad view regarding a project. Broad ideas are covered in this in a project. The project is having a very vast things will be covered in this project. So we'll see one by one. We have seen a project. What is a project? A project is normally a long-term infrastructure, industrial or public service scheme developed by developments or an undertaking having all this significance. Okay. Next is, what are the different types of projects will be covered. I have given the examples of in BOO and BOT. I've given the examples of express highways, and I've given the example of roads. But there are various types of projects. Okay, so motorway and expressway. Again, the example which I have given. So it has been included in first. That is motorway and expressway. These are covered in a project. That is types of projects. It has been covered, motorway and expressway. Metro, subways, and other mass transit systems are covered. Where metros nowadays there is a metro routes, metro constructions are going on in Nagpur. So this will be under a project, because it will deals with a number of subheads, number of items of constructions of work will be there. Okay, while constructing a building, so item of work will be very limited. Okay, from excavation to plastering only, it will be finished. Okay, but in project, there will project deals with a connection of various activities. Okay, connection of expressway, it has been connected with the various activities. Okay, when various activities have been connected, then it will form a project. Okay, so metro, subways, and other mass transit systems. Dams is also an example of project. Types of projects. Dams is also an example. Railway networks and service. Railway lines, Central Line or Western Line, Harbour Line. You have seen the various lines in Mumbai city also. So there are various lines. So there are Southern Railway and Northern Railways. There are various networks. It has been covered in a project, because maintaining that network, it is very a huge task is there. Maintaining all the networks, maintaining the maintenance regarding the railways work and construction works is also there. Because the railway networks and services, other passengers and cargo, there may be passengers also, and there may be cargos and goods transport also. So it has been covered in the project. Power plants and other charged utilities. Again, power plants nowadays, power plants. It is a basic need for this, which has been covered in again a project. It is a type of project. Ports and terminals. Again, there is seaports are there. Various seaports are there. Ships seaports are there. In which there is it has been required for transportation of goods, transportation of passengers or cargo from one place to another place, from one country to another country. So ports and terminals are also there. Okay, airports and terminals are also there. Seaports are there, sea terminals are there, whereas airports and terminals are there. So in every big city there are terminals are there. So airports and terminals are also included in our projects. Mines, yes, whereas coal mines are there and natural resource explorations are there. There is not only coal mines, there are various platinum mines are there, whereas mines are there. We have to explore the natural materials from the ground. Again, it has been covered in a project because exploring the materials or digging the materials or taking out the materials from ground up to a depth of 100 meters or 200 meters, it is not a simple job. Okay? So mines and natural resources exploration is also covered in the project. Large new industrial undertakings, no expansions and extensions. It has been covered in again the types of projects, and large residential and commercial buildings. Okay, but word is important is large. Small residential and buildings will not be covered in a project. Okay, project deals with a large residential and a commercial buildings. Nowadays, commercial buildings are also taken into considerations. Okay. So types of projects, large residential and commercial buildings will be covered in the projects. So these are the different types of projects which are having various in every field. There are various types of projects, whether it is a roads concepts, whether it is a railway concept, whether it is a dams, water concept. In waters also there will be a large types of projects. Whether it is a generation of electricity, there will be a large types of projects. Where there is exploration of mines, there will be a large types of projects. When there is transportation of goods or cargo in by means of air or by means of sea by ships, various cargoes are there. So this will be covered in the projects or and large residential building and commercial buildings which is having a large areas where large type of constructions are there or large amount is also required. So this will be covered in the projects. So these are the various types of projects which is very important. Now this bit is very important. Okay, because in number of sorry yes, yes, it is visible. Introduction. What is project financing? This project financing is very important. Yes. Uh, Project financing is again very important. So project financing in number of question papers it has been asked what is project financing, or the different concepts to be considered while project financing a project, or what are the different heads to be considered while financing a project. So we'll see. Project financing is again a very important concept in this project financing. International Project Finance Association, that is IPFA. In short, it has been called as IPFA. That is International Project Finance Association defined project financing as. What is project financing? Uh, as these two words, it is very simple. We have to finance a project. Okay, we have to give money for execution of project, for executing the projects, and in turns we will get a profit from it. Okay, once it has been sold or it has been used for some other purpose, at that time we can have a profit from it. Okay, so we have to finance the for execution of the project. Okay, simple words. But what the according to IPFA, what it says, the financing of a long-term infrastructure. Again, long-term words is very important. Long size is also last size is also important, and term is also long term is also important. Okay, the financing of long-term infrastructures, industrial projects, and public services based upon. Yes. So these heads have been covered in project financings. We are financing for, okay. Number one, we are financing for long-term infrastructures. When the infrastructure construction it is long-term, its maintenance is long-term, its construction is long terms. We have already seen in estimating and so on costing there is revise estimate or supplementary estimate or revise and supplementary estimate, maintenance estimate. So maintenance is long term. Okay, revisions are long terms. Supplementary estimates, there is supplementary work is long term. So financial long term infrastructures. So financing of number one is long term infrastructure. It should be long term infrastructures. Next, it should be an industrial projects and public services. Okay, public services is various public services, whether it is related with waters, whether it is public services related with the electricity, public services related with the transport, transport, railways, roadways, various transport related activities. So public services may be any related with the transportation or related with the resources to be provided to the public. Okay. So industrial projects next, and public services based upon non-resources or limited resources. Okay. Non-resources when there is no resources. Okay. Or resources. Okay, okay. Only first slide is visible. Mm. Right. Okay, introduction. In introductions, I am having with project financings. Whether project financing this slide number 5 is visible. Please comment whether the slide number 5 is visible or not. Okay, because all this it has been covered in the unit number 1. Okay, actually introduction word, it doesn't relates with the introduction of unit number 1. Okay, but we are dealing with the project financing. Okay, whether this project financing is visible. Introduction, what is project financing, whether this project financing is visible. Yes. Industrial project finance association, that is IPFA, defined project financing as the financing of long term infrastructures, industrial projects, public services based upon non-resources or limited resources financial structures, where project depth and equality. Equality is the fair means. Okay? Justice. Equity is nothing but the justice. Equity is nothing but the justice to be made while constructions of project. Okay? So we have to have limited resource when there is a non-resource, or when there is a limited resource financial structures, where project depth and equity used to finance the project are paid back from the cash flow. Okay? So when there is a flow of cash, okay, once the construction, it has been some percentage, it has been covered. Suppose there is some type of project. So suppose in a project there is a construction of a building, okay, and interrelated with the building there is a construction of road also. Interrelated with the building there is a construction of park also. But in first stage we have constructed in building, and it has given the permission to live. Okay, while the people are living, so there is a flow of money from that constructions. Okay, there is flow of money from the residential building, and that flow of money from the residential building can be reused for some other development purpose, such as development of a park, such as development of roads, or developments of various such as gym or any other activities. So this terms is very important. The finance to finance the projects are paid back from the cash flow. Yes, it has been paid back from the cash flow. The cash flow which has been carried out while execution of the project. It is not as such that 100% project will be completed for in 5 years or 10 years. No, it is ongoing project. Project word relates with ongoing constructions. Okay, this project word relates with the long-term infrastructure. Okay, construction will be long terms, and construction of structures will be long term. It is not as for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. No, uh, it will be for long terms. Okay, so once the amount we have received while in terms of profit can be cash back. Okay, can be paid back from cash flow generated by a project. So in short, this is nothing but the definition of project financing as per IPFA, that is International Project Finance Associations. Okay, so this it is very simple definition for this. The financing of long-term infrastructures or industrial projects and public services based upon non-resources or limited resources financial structures, where project depth and equity used to finance the project are paid back from the cash flow. They have to paid back the, from the cash flow generated by the project. Okay. Normally we are this project financing. It is towards project finance is especially attractive to the private sectors. Why private sectors deals with this project financing? Because they can fund major projects off balance sheet. Yes, this word is very important, off balance sheet. Okay, so some amount we cannot represent in balance sheet. Okay, we will see measurement sheet, we will see a balance sheet in estimating and costing also. So some part we cannot show on records. Okay, on records balance sheet is nothing but the on records. Okay, on records amount we cannot show. Some amount we can have, we can use for contingencies. We have already seen contingencies is a small word, but we can use that amount, or we can use the amount for some other work. Okay, so we cannot show that amount. Okay, so that for that purpose private sectors project finance is especially attractive to the private sectors. Why? Because some amount we can have an offshoot. Okay, offshoot may matlab, we cannot show all the amounts. Okay? We cannot estimate or we cannot show all the amounts. Okay? So therefore private sectors are more preferred. Next is why it is important to understand project finance. It is again very important. Why we have to have a project finance? Why it is important to understand project finance? So project finance. Why we have to study project finance? Okay. The people involved in the project are used to find financing deals for major construction projects such as mining, transportations, and public utility industries, services or industries that may result such risks and compensations for repayment of loans, insurance, and assets in process. That's why they need to learn about project finance. Okay, so project financing, why it is to be studied and what is its importance? Because some of the investors they are investing their money. Okay, so we have to see whether my money, whether I'm investing the money in a right way or a wrong way. Okay? So I have to have an idea of a project. Okay? I have to I have to deal with a project finance idea. Okay? Once I'm investing the crores or lakhs of rupees for particular type of project, because construction of project is not as such that there is the one person will utilize its own assets, or will utilize its own money for construction project, because project is not constructed in lakhs. It will be constructed in crores, and crores also 100 crores, 200 crores, and 300 crores. So it is not as such one person will be will invest its own amount. Okay, so there will be various investors will be there. Various investors, government agencies will also invest their money in the project, or private sectors will also invest their money in the project, or banks will also give money for a particular type of project. So project financing is important. Okay, in order to have a whether there will be repayment or whether that money will came back or not. Okay, so for that project finance it is very important. Okay, its importance to study is very important, because we are investing the amount. Okay, we are investing the amount to run a project. Okay, so there will be various agencies who will there will be various investors will be there, various agencies will be there who will invest the money for construction of project. So whether this project will have a long term yes, cash flow, as I've already said, whether we will get the returns from it or not. So we have to have a study on this project finance. Okay, once I've invested 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs, and after 10 years or after 5 years or after 2 years I am not getting its profit, and I'm not getting its returns, then my money is waste, which we have invested on a particular project. Okay, so cashback is very important. Okay, whether we are getting a returns from this for a particular type of project is very important. Okay, that's why they need to learn about project finance in order to manage project cash flow for ensuring profit. Yes, this word is very important. Ensuring profit, so it can be distributed among multiple parties. Yes, I have already explained this. When It is not an easy job to have a construct a project. Again, it is not as such that one person has invested its money in crores and no, the project, it is having various investors are there. Okay, various lenders are there, various parties are there who has invested their money, and they will have the returns from this. And they will have or they will in a view to have returns from that particular in a form of profit. What is a lender? Lender words is one who lends money or one who invests money, especially a bank. Example is a bank. A bank also gives money for construction of project, executing a project. Various banks invest the money. So here lenders word is a technical word used for investors and especially for a bank. So this is nothing but understand project finance. Again, for whom it is important to understand project finance, why we are studying project finance, and what is its benefit. Okay, for for whom it is important. Okay, so yeah, project financing study is important for which pupils. Okay, so for whom it is important to understand project finance, so financial managers, it is very essential for financial managers, higher level managers to study the various outcomes for the projects, various flow of money in the projects, or various heads in the projects, construction of projects. So it is important to understand project finance. Financial managers, next is sponsors. Yes, there are various sponsors in this, okay, who will give their money for execution of projects. So sponsors, for a sponsor, being a sponsor, I have to have a deep study on project finance. I have to have a deep study on various concepts in project finance. Being a sponsors, being a lenders, such as banks. So banks should also lenders who invest the amount for a particular type of project. So again, it is very important. Consultants and practitioners, project finance is also important for consultants and practitioners. Various consultants are there. For that consultants, project finance plays an important role. Its studies plays an important role. Project managers, builders, yes, builders also should have an. Okay, fifth slide is only visible. Okay, I am once again sharing the slide. Now it is visible. Now it is visible. Sixth slide is visible or not? Why it is important to understand project finance? Whether sixth slide is visible. Sixth slide is visible. Yes. Sixth slide is visible. No, sir. It is not visible. Okay. It is visible. Okay. It is visible. It is visible. Yes. So sixth slide is nothing but importance of project finance. What why it is important? The we have already seen in fifth slide the various things related with the project. Again, why it is important for project. So in order to investigate, the people involved in a project are used to find financial deals for major construction projects such as mining, transportations, public utility industries. So various industries, various long-term projects are there, long-term infrastructure projects are there. So while we are investing a amount, okay, so we have to have a returns from it. So we have to understand the project finance in order to get the various stages in order to have a completion of project. While completing the project, uh, we have to have an idea of various flow of money from various at various stages in the project, from flow of money from one stage to another stage. And once we have invested the money in particular type of project, then what will be the returns from it, okay? So whether the returns will be, we will get the returns from it, so, from a project, it is very important. So it is very important to understand project finance in order to get returns from it, okay? Once we are getting a returns from it, then it is very then we can invest the money. When there is no returns from it, then it is very difficult to invest a money from to in a project, okay? So that's why they need to learn about the project finance in order to manage project cash flow for ensuring profits. This profit word is very important. Once we are getting the profit from it, then it is simple as that to invest the money in a particular type of project. When there is no cash flows or no profit is there, or when the profit is very little, then it is very difficult to invest money in a project, okay? So such multiple parties are there, multiple investors are there. And lenders is nothing but one who lends money, or one who gives the money, or it is as good as simple words investors, okay? Which is specially used for banks, especially used as banks. The banks invest money for execution of a project, okay? So this is nothing but, again, it is very important to understand project finance. For whom it is important to understand project finance? Project finance is very important for financial managers, financial managers. It is very important to understand the project finance. It is not moving. Sorry, there is this slide is not moving. What is the problem? I don't know. There is no change in the slide, because slide is not changing. I don't know why this slide is not working. Okay, we will see. Hmm. Okay, we will see in next lecture. The various again we will continue these lectures due to some problem. This lecture it has been ended. So in next lecture we will see some more concepts on this project, because this slide is not changing. I don't know what is the problem regarding this. So in next lecture we will see some more concept on project financing, and we will deals with the various project finance concepts, its importance and various things we will cover in next lecture also. So we will see some more concepts on project finance also. Okay, thank you, thank you. Sorry for interruption.